There once was a composer with a crazy composition. He was with a group of musicians, and the musicians loved him, and they started to play the music for the first time in a club. After 2 days, the people around the city called the boss of the club, and they told him something fantastic happened in the city. All of the mosquitoes, mice, and the cockroaches left the city, and the people wanted to meet with the composer to thank him for freeing the city of their scourge. And they wanted to give him anything he wanted because he did so good. And when the composer heard that from the people, it gave him great pleasure and waited for the words from the people about his music. The other musicians took him to the beach for fresh air, and for a short while, he doesn't feel good. There he wants to do something up high. They took him to the roof of a building. The first time he was satisfied, and after he wanted to go up to a higher building. And this time he looked down, and the people look like ants. He feels good. He feels something different inside. When he moves his head, he sees a big mountain. The season was spring. The trees and flowers and butterflies was very beautiful, and he was very happy that this happened to him. But the time stopped early for his enjoyment because the deep of the sky he saw a helicopter, and he wanted to fly in the helicopter. So he gets in the cockpit with the pilot. The pilot gives him a cup of tea, and he was happy. And he likes to speak with the pilot because he finds the conversation very interesting. But sometimes he looks to the right side and he sees an airplane. And he says to the pilot, "I want to leave and visit the airplane." And right and left there were clouds, and he was happy, and he sang. And he sang, and the people sang also. But before an hour, in NASA, he sees a rocket close to the window, and immediately the conversation stopped to speak and to sing, and the people looked and said, "What happened?" And he said, "My dream is to travel into space." And with his group, they visited the American embassy, and they spoke with an ambassador. And they explained to the ambassador his dream and that he wanted to travel into space. To the right of the ambassador, there was a psychiatrist. The ambassador and the psychiatrist both agreed to send him to NASA. Then, when he gets to NASA, they train him how to sit in the rocket, and they put a spacesuit on him for him to go up in space in a space rocket. When he goes out of the atmosphere, he saw everything around him different in space. He was excited to see objects of the universe, and he did not speak for many hours. He just wanted to look around. Many days passed for him to look at everything. The satellite from NASA was still following him in his behavior. Many things for us are unknown because NASA keeps many secrets and examines everything that happens to the composer. The audience finds it interesting what happened. They go into the subconscious and they examine thoroughly. For a very long time, the audience gives him some secrets, and the body of the composer was very weak. The brain is very big, and the eyes are too big. And he doesn't eat anything because the audience gives him energy. He was now totally different from the past, and he takes from the aliens a mission to go to a planet